From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, August the 9th, 2018. We open with the situation in southern Israel, which has been under a barrage of rocket fire from Gaza since yesterday. The rockets began yesterday, as we reported to you, after two Hamas snipers opened fire at Israeli troops at the Gaza border fence. The IDF responded, killing them both. Hamas vowed revenge and began launching rockets at southern Israel. Some 200 rockets have been launched since yesterday. 30 were intercepted by the Iron Dome missile defense battery. Many others landed in open areas, though several did hit in populated areas, and at least 5 people suffered light injuries. A 30-year-old foreign worker from Thailand was seriously injured when she was struck by shrapnel in her stomach. Her condition is now said to be moderate. Dozens were also treated for panic attacks. And for the first time since the 2014 Gaza war, a rocket was launched at and landed in Beersheba today. It landed in an open area. There were no reports of injuries or damage. Beersheba is about 25 miles from the Gaza border. There was a brief ceasefire for about 2 hours earlier today, but then the rockets resumed. The IDF has been conducting major retaliatory strikes on Gaza, hitting about 150 Hamas positions and facilities, including several terror tunnels and a building said to be headquarters for the terror group. Israel's Air Force continues to warn civilians about impending airstrikes. Palestinian media reported 18 injuries and 3 fatalities, one of whom was a Hamas terrorist. Israel's Security Cabinet met this evening at IDF headquarters in Tel Aviv to address the escalation in violence from Gaza. The meeting was led by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel's Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman. We will have more on the situation on tonight's In the News with Mark Golub, who speaks with military correspondent for the Times of Israel, Judah Ari Gross. That's coming up right after this newscast. In other news, Colombia said it would recognize a Palestinian state. Former president of the country, Juan Manuel Santos, wrote an unreleased letter to the Palestinian representative in the country to recognize Palestine as a sovereign state last week, just days before leaving office. The letter was leaked to the press. Colombia's new government, led by President Ivan Duque, who took office on Tuesday, said it would review Santos's recognition and its implications and would act, it said, according to international law. Israel's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Emmanuel Nachshon said, "We are surprised about the report in the media and are waiting to receive explanations from the new government, which is looking into the matter." The American Jewish Committee's CEO David Harris said a Palestinian state can only be achieved through direct negotiations with Israel. That Santos chose to give the gift of recognition at a time when PA President Abbas has totally abandoned the peace process. The West Bank and Gaza are under different leaderships, and Hamas again is aggressively threatening Israel with violence, is deeply troubling, not to say inexplicable. Harris added that anything that can be done by President Duque to diminish, if not abrogate, this regrettable Santos action will be a welcome gesture and send a message about Colombia's commitment to a negotiated solution between the two parties. An American academic group is taking a stand against the BDS movement, the Boycott, Divestment, and Sanctions campaign that seeks to delegitimize the State of Israel, but also taking a stand against asking academics to reject the campaign. The American Association of University Professors said it is as opposed to a boycott of Israel as it is to academics being asked to pledge that they will renounce BDS. They said yesterday, "We oppose all academic boycotts, including an academic boycott of Israel, on the grounds that such boycotts violate the principles of academic freedom and the free exchange of ideas for which our organization has stood for over 100 years. But they added, "It is precisely for this reason that our opposition to BDS is matched as resolutely by our opposition to these pledges, which are nothing short of an attempt to limit freedom of speech and belief." Kenyan-born Israeli runner Lona Chemtai Salpeter won the women's 10,000-meter run at the 2018 European Athletics Championships in Berlin yesterday. The 29-year-old is the first Israeli to bring home the gold from the European competition. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, August the 8th at 7 o'clock. It's Talmud study at 8, more from the American Jewish Committee's Global Forum in Jerusalem, with remarks from Jerusalem Mayor Nir Barkat, Minister of Diaspora Affairs Naftali Bennett, and former Israeli Foreign Minister and now opposition leader Tzipi Livni. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with career diplomat and advisor on Israeli foreign policy Yoram Ettinger. At 10, also from the AJC conference, a discussion of the threat still posed by Iran with Emily Landau of National Security Studies, Matthew Levitt of the Washington Institute, Mayor Javan Dafar of the IDC, and Dan Shapiro, the former Israeli ambassador. And coming up right after this newscast tonight, Mark Golub speaks with the military correspondent for the Times of Israel, Judah Ari Gross, on the situation in southern Israel in light of the ongoing rocket attacks from Gaza. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, August the 9th, 2018. I'm Teisha Bader.